Welcome back, this is Jack. If you saw this video, you already know I like the Antspur rapier. It is one of the few weapons that naturally does Scarlet Rot, and you can change out the Astral War, allowing for some really scary combinations. Think I found my favorite version of it. If you add as your offhand weapon the Frozen Needle, it adds ice to the damage combination. So even following the original build, it makes into a nice combo. Worth noting, the Frozen Needle does not use smithing stones, instead uses somber smithing stones, allowing you not to have competing resources between the Frozen Needle and the Antspur rapier, because the Antspur rapier uses smithing stones. Now that I've explained that, let's get to the build. You can apply the Astral War, the flames of the Redmanes, to the Antspur rapier, which would give it fire. If you have a whetstone, you'll be able to change that secondary damage to whatever you want, such as bleed, poison, allowing for either burst damage or DOT, depending on what you want to do. The reason for the flame of the Redmanes is twofold. The first is it takes 2 to 3 hits to stagger most enemies, even bosses. In a vulnerable state, you're able to do your backstab or continuously attack them, so you get to reapply your Scarlet Rot, poison, frost, bleed, whatever you have done to this weapon combination. The second reason for the flame of the Redmanes is it does fire damage, which removes the debuff of frost once it is fully built up. The reason you want to do that is because it'll allow you to rebuild it up and do that burst damage again. So you will have the burst damage of ice and possibly bleed if you really want to. There is a vague third reason. Thrusting weapons are not really good at dealing with groups of enemies. However, with Flame of the Redmanes, you're able to hit a burst of people and therefore able to stagger them, hopefully. If you prefer instead, you can use both in your main hand and switch between the two depending on what damage you want to apply, and then have a shield in your offhand. And as it is a thrusting weapon, you actually never need to come out from behind your shield and able to do some good counter thrusts. This one roughly uses the same talismans as the previous video to buff up your damage and make it mo beta. However, you can add on top of it some of the assassin daggers, as you will stagger them a lot and be able to do backstab, so you can get both some health regain and some FP regain. If you have suggestions for this build, there is that comment section down below. You can leave a comment. If you also think Let Me Solo Her should be a boss in a future game, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe so I can see you in the next video. Take care.